Hello everyone, and thank you for tuning in to the latest Hurricane Tracker app video update recorded on Saturday, June 17th, recorded around 10:30 p.m. Eastern Time. Well, we hope everyone is enjoying their weekend. We wanted to give you a quick update on Invest 93L, which was designated by the National Hurricane Center today. You can see the satellite loop displays that the system is very disorganized, very broad, and there's a lot of disorganized showers and thunderstorms. And it's going to take this system probably 2 or 3 days before it develops into a tropical depression. And at this time, the National Hurricane Center does state there is an 80% chance of development over the next 5 days as it generally moves towards the west-northwest or the northwest into the Gulf of Mexico. One of the biggest questions we've received over the last couple of days is, where is this storm going to track? So let's see if we can answer that question here this evening. So over here on the right side of the video, you'll see is the ensemble members for the European model, and each L that you see on the map represents a position of each ensemble member for the European model, and I think there's over 40 ensemble members, maybe even close to 50. But you can see the mean here, and this is for Wednesday morning, about early in the morning, about 8 o'clock or so. You can see that most of the ensemble members have the system as a depression or possibly even a low-end tropical storm somewhere in the west central Gulf of Mexico. Over on the left-hand side, the black line is the mean for the GFS ensemble member. It's called the GEFS, and it's further to the east into the northern Gulf of Mexico. And some of the previous runs were even further towards the east into the Florida Panhandle. One of the main reasons the European model is tracking this system more towards the west is because it is forecasting more upper level ridging here across the Gulf of Mexico. So what you're looking at is a pressure anomaly map at 500 millibars. You're looking, in simple terms, areas of high pressure and areas of low pressure. And you can see over here over the Midwest, we have a trough of low pressure that's dipping down, and however, it's not getting far to the south. And you can see we have a ridge of high pressure over the southern plains, and then the good old Bermuda Ridge extending west here across the Florida Peninsula. Now, on the other hand, let's look on the left side of the video at the forecasted pressure anomalies for the GFS ensemble members. And the average is the mean. You can see the Bermuda Ridge is much further to the east than compared to the European model. And there's also a little less ridging here over the southern plains. So what this means is, with less ridging, this kind of opens the door, and the system would be able to track into the weakness between the two areas of high pressure towards the trough, and generally somewhere into the northern or northeastern Gulf of Mexico. Now, as far as what we're leaning on the European guidance at this time. It has performed better, especially with these high pressure ridges across the south and southwest over recent weeks. And it just also has a better handle on the atmosphere a few days away than the GFS does. So the UK Met model also supports the western solution into the west central Gulf of Mexico. And so we think right now that's the most likely scenario, but we can't rule out the track more towards the north and northeast. I'd give that about a 30% chance, and then about a 70% chance that the system is going to track towards the west. But let me stress as well, this system is not going to be a big wind maker. We may see some low-grade tropical storm force winds, but the big story with this system is going to be heavy rainfall. This is the forecasted rainfall amounts from the European model today at 12Z. And you can see some of the bands it was forecasting offshore are greater than 5 inches, maybe even up towards a foot. So it's just going to depend on exactly where the broad center of this system tracks. If it's here in the western Gulf of Mexico, you're going to see the heavy rainfall come into the Texas coast and into maybe even southwest Louisiana. If the system tracks as the GFS and its ensemble members show, then up here into the northern Gulf of Mexico, then we would see more rain moving into portions of the southeast, possibly even Florida, Alabama, Georgia, and Mississippi. But again, right now that's the least likely solution. But we can say with certainty somewhere along the Gulf Coast is going to get quite a bit of rainfall, several inches from this system. And we're probably just going to have to wait another day or two before that forecast can be clarified. So in summary, we've posted alert levels of 1 in the low category for a good portion of the Gulf of Mexico. That's because there is still uncertainty, as I just stated, as to exactly where the system's going to go. Again, right now we're leaning with track scenario 1, that the invest will lift north-northwest, start to organize into a depression, maybe even a low-end tropical storm, and by early next week be somewhere out here in the west central Gulf of Mexico. And if that's the case, the west and northwest portion of the Gulf of Mexico could see quite a bit of tropical moisture, heavy rainfall, and even the possibility of inland flooding, depending upon how much moisture this system can bring out of the Caribbean up into that part of the Gulf. So we hope this video answered a couple of questions for you. Again, it's still a little bit not as clear as and uncertain as to where this system is going to track. But we can say with medium confidence this system is not going to get anything stronger than probably a 50-mile-per-hour tropical storm. So we're not looking for a hurricane or any major wind impacts. Again, this will be a big rainmaker and possibly even some minor coastal flood issues right along the coast to the north and east of where this center eventually makes landfall. Thank you for using the Hurricane Tracker app, and we hope you have a great weekend, and thanks for watching.